Hey, good morning. Sorry to yell in your ear. No, fuck that. Welcome. This is the KANU Chronicles Solocast, Drivecast, podcast, however you want to look at it. Getting into another episode 236. And I'm just going to fire it up a little early. A little earlier in the week, excuse me. But let me get some things out of the way, guys. Please, first off, thank you very much for listening. Any current listeners that have been listening for some time, however long that is, much appreciated. And if you're brand new, giving me a shot, giving me a shot, really, because I haven't had some guests on for a while, and I don't have like a co-host, so I have to just talk about as me, not trying to be all about me, but that's what it is right now. But thank you for listening. Thank you for checking in, giving it a try. I hope it's something you're gonna like. So you already probably got the gist of what it's gonna be, but maybe not. Anyways, if you're wondering, I'm on my way to work. That's how I do this podcast a lot of times, is like back and forth between work a lot of times, because especially in LA, we have traffic or, decent distance, and really anywhere, I guess, but depending on, your situation. But anyways, it's a good spot for me to record and do the podcast, fit it in my schedule pretty easily. It's just being conscious of it and like starting it up. But things are going to be changing at times coming up here, but you guys already know that if you've listened. So getting back to it, if you want to follow me, if you want to get on my social media, hit me up on Twitter at KANU Chronicles, just as it is here. And then on my Instagram, it's at GRTN and the number 8. That's Great Nate. Hit me up. If you want to hit me up on the DM or something, I don't care, whatever. Just no crazy shit, please. But yeah, I mean, between the two, if you do want to, correspond, hit me up, ask me anything, suggest something, that's fine. Please do. I don't mind the interaction, even just whatever, man. Any support's great. Also, speaking of the support, if you really want to help out, or if you can, depends on what you're looking for, or if it's something up your alley, but look in the show notes and support the sponsors, support the links I have. I have FAN DUEL. That's a brand new one I just been putting in. You could sign up, get $10 right away. I get $10. We're all good, and you could go out there and kill it. So if you're a real sports fan or something, not just a sports fan, but if you're like to throw down a few bucks, go ahead, jump in. And depending on what state you're in, I think now the sportsbook version is included. I haven't tested it for California, but I'm pretty sure it isn't going to work. But yeah, you could try it. I don't know, depending where you live. So jump on that. Also, Postmates. If you don't have Postmates, go ahead, join up, click on that link. Either of them have links. I have links for everything there. But click on that link for Postmates. You get $100 off in delivery for 1 full week. So take advantage of it. That means in delivery fees. So they're not paying for your food. But go ahead and really try to use it. Make it worth it. Order some dinner, some lunches. Maybe have somebody do some shopping. There's quite a few things you could kind of do with Postmates. You don't have to just get like a hamburger or fry. There's some uses there. But yeah, take your time, use it to help you out, and do it right when you sign up, because that way that first week you could save on that delivery fee really nicely. So that's the way to do it if you want to jump in it right, instead of just signing up and like, okay, I'll order a burger. And, that's nice. You save like $3 or $4, something like that, maybe more. But why do that? Do the most out of it. You're going to go spend your money on shit anyways, most likely. Obviously, if you don't got it, I'm not talking to y'all. But if you got a few bucks and you could spend that, and that's what you're going to do, you do the damn thing. So sign on up on Postmates. I appreciate it. And also, Robinhood, the Robinhood app. We all got to, like, get into the stocks, utilize this stock market, utilize these tools that are available in this country. Whether you like everything or not, it's not about that. There's a huge market. I mean, you know, even if you're in other countries, you know, these are things that are possible too. I'm not just excluding y'all, but I'm just talking from here in the USA. Utilize it, get into it. I'm trying to myself. I'm not going to sit here and act like I got the most whatever with it. I haven't, but I do got a few stocks starting off, and you know, I have had some Bitcoin and all that, but not as much as I should have. Like you, right? We all fucked up. Every last one of us. Most of us. Like a lot of us. Alright? That's alright. There's always brand new opportunities, guys. There's penny stocks. There's dollar stocks, $3 stocks, $4. It's every amount for anybody's budget. So we could all get started. It's not anything that's going to put us in a hole. Matter of fact, we're wasting our money on a lot of bullshit anyways weekly when you break it down. So why not if you could throw $30, $40, $50 a week into some stocks, and you just keep building it and building and building it. At the end of the year, you're going to be so shocked how many stocks you have bought. And that's the thing I'm trying to get to. Not trying, gonna do. Let's change our words here, guys. That's me. I'm putting myself on blast. So, get into the Robinhood app. All you got to do is sign up with the link below. You click on it, go from there, do the damn thing, connect your banks, whatever, get that money going, and you have access right there on your phone, doing the damn thing. Don't worry about, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Don't worry. Are you day trading? Are you selling the shit tomorrow? No. Buy it, sit on it, buy some more, buy some more, buy some more. You know, if it's tanking too hard, don't buy the shit if you don't want to, but just depends how you look at it. Learn about it. Learn about this stuff. Let this help you learn. I'm trying to do that, all right? That's all. So you go to their Robinhood app. Simple. Then what else do we got? I think that's it pretty much on that front. There's also the ilovekanu.com. You could definitely bookmark the website. I appreciate that. That's where, you can pretty much get a more full idea of what KANU is all about. My entertainment, small entertainment company, which does include the podcast, also includes my main artist, which is my mom, Monica Martov, and I've been, taking care, working on her music for the last few years. She is retired. She is not currently making anything herself. I'm taking care of the catalog and making things happen, and trying to make things happen. So it's a slow process, but it's happening. It's little by little. But I've been getting her songs updated. She only made demos over the years. She never got to really produce her, really enhance and produce the work to certain levels. So I've taken it up that notch and been taking it from there. It's been a really interesting, fun project. It's really, when I stop and think about it, it's a trip to me because, I grew up watching her already kind of go through the process, or was just around her making the music all the time. So I know it pretty damn well, more than I probably even remember, or more than I realize sometimes. And now, since I've had to go through the work and then, get it, go through each one and really you kind of get that much more intimate with it. And now, I have a few of the songs that I've got them reproduced and she had 4 songs that she sang on and she had lyrics for. And the rest of her work is all composition, instrumentals. So, I've been getting those ones redone and up to date. So you can check it out on her SoundCloud right now. You could also buy 2 of them. Actually, look her up on iTunes, and you could get everything. You can get some of her original demos, and you could get some of the new stuff. So you go to Spotify, any of the major platforms, same thing. Look up Monica Martov and just support by listening or purchasing would be great. You know, that's all good. So we're just taking from there. I'm going to have more promotion going on. So hopefully, you know, you'll start hearing her on some radio. I don't know. You know, it's very it's very much a lottery sometimes with this. I would say, as much as it is, you know, the business is definitely, you know, you do got to pay some things to get yourself out there, but no, you know, for real, if it's a good song, I believe, I think if something's really that good, it's going to take on its own life, and then it's going to kind of go from there, you know what I mean? At some point, but there takes a push. It takes a push. You got to put some elbow and money into it. You can't just be like, oh, you know, I'll just put it on SoundCloud. It's going to be happening. And if you're all, you know, I'm sure I got some listeners on here, you work on music yourself, or you guys know what I'm talking about. And, you know, some of you guys might be in that mindset yourself, you know. We all can do that, you know, but, you know, you just think that, you know, everybody's going to be into, you know, your stuff, and why aren't they? You know, let me tell you, I mean, with my mom in particular, and nothing against on her, but, you know, she at one point just kind of, she you know, early on got to, she got pretty close out there around the business, and she was active, and then we moved back east. But even before that, it kind of drifted off a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, for whatever reason. Maybe really, I would say maybe she was discouraged or didn't have that strong confidence at some point. So, very, very normal thing that happens to, you know, new artists or people, you know, getting into this business, and you don't have a background really in it. You know, there's no, you know, there wasn't, especially back in the 80s too, there wasn't, resources were way less. You had to definitely go by books. But ultimately, she was right here and very close to a lot of people. She, you know, she did have the advantage of meeting more people. But anyways, that's a long story. You know, just short story on it. You know, that just happened. We left. And anyways, what I was getting to is, in that all these years, she would have her music, but you know, I don't know. I think she also still had this idea that somehow people were going to hear it and do something, but it wasn't anywhere where anybody could hear it, you know what I mean? Or she didn't, you know, take it to that step of like sharing it, you know, for whatever reason. So you could, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot of thoughts on that. Certain kind of creative paralysis, or it's just life. Just life happens. This happens though too. There's some, I know for sure that this isn't like, oh, my mom just had this and that's it. You know, no. I'm so sure, and I know kind of one in particular, know of a person, but had it, you know, expressed, but like, things happen. You could be an artist, and you know, maybe you can't focus as much as you like to get a piece of work done, but you have pieces of work, but you're in the making all the time, or you do have pieces kind of done, and you know, you just don't have the money to spend to bring it up to that next level, or you feel like you don't have people around you, the right people that could be that much more helpful to you with the process. Musician, you know, just all these different like hiccups and problems, or like your work is too demanding, your life is too demanding, you got like 3 kids, and you know, all these real life things, and that seem to keep you away from pursuing the thing you really love. So it's okay. I mean, it definitely, it's gonna happen, but if you really, whatever that is, wherever you're at with your stuff, if it's something you really are looking to push and do something with, I mean, you just got to keep going and try to sit down and start with one thing at a time. That's really all I can tell you in the experience of doing this process. So I'm kind of acting in her place in a sense, and but I have the background. I was in the business. I still consider myself over the years kind of still in it, even though it's been like outside, not really active, but I've done a lot of I've helped in different ways and supported friends of mine and whatever. And also the gift and the knowledge of all those things don't go away too. It may change, the times change. You got to keep up with what's going on as far as that, which I think I've done pretty well. I understand the setup of it now more than ever. I already did. I was already looking and learning about the independent business of music versus, the majors. But now with the technology, the website sources, the way the community is like kind of growing online, and it's starting to get, I think there's a chance for it to get more organized. It's just there's a lot of things to it, you know what I mean? So anyways, I'm just trying to give you guys some motivation, some encouragement, if you're stuck in a rut, but just, you got to take one piece and start going from there. So if you got an unfinished song, but you feel really good and that's the one you really like, go and finish it. Even if it's just in raw demo, rough form, I don't care. Just get it as far as you can. If you can't, if you're stuck and it's just like, maybe you just don't have that extra whatever, please, seek out other songwriters, people, there's collaborative people out there. They'll definitely love to help. They'll be very fair. You just got to be upfront about everything, however you want to do that, in terms of business. Even though you have no money going on right away, you may want to just even in talking form, if you could be very upfront about, hey, if this goes to this lake, or we could split this, just, you want to get to those things. And if you can't officially even get something signed off, just because, even out of just pure good trust, that's a good thing. And then you get to develop a writing partner's situation, and then you could start getting so much more done, hopefully, depending, maybe for other styles, it may not work. You might have something they're just not going to be good with, but don't stop with just one, get yourself a few writing partners if you need to. But what I'm just, you hear what I'm getting to, but you got to do these things still. One, it's slow. It's not, always going to be so exciting. You may just have these, you know what I mean? Just the process of finding a person to do that may not click right away. I've been pretty lucky on some things, quite honestly, especially in this process with doing my mom's music a couple times over. And I'm not, actually I should be promoting their code. But Fiverr is a great resource for a lot of stuff, let me tell you guys. So, if you want to get right to it like that, I'd say Fiverr's great. Don't overlook Craigslist. I think Craigslist can be fantastic too. I've met some very great people in there, editors and cinematographer, all that type of people. If I haven't met them, I've seen some great resumes and descriptions. I've gotten emails from a lot of really talented people. So you'd be surprised. I mean, that's here in LA, of course, but it's gonna be different city to city. But even if you're not in that city, we have technology. You don't have to worry about being right there with each other, especially in music form. You're just recording audio. So as long as you can do that, and then you learn how to transfer files online. Sometimes you can email it. If you can't, use a site called WeTransfer, WeTransfer, something like that, .com. And you can share bigger files over that, or Dropbox, stuff like that. So you just need to gather some resources if you don't have them, and just get to work on this shit, man. Just set it up, try to simplify the process for yourself, whatever that is, and just get to it. Like I said, it's one song at a time, I would say. So that's my music music industry advice or segment. But that's part of KANU. That's where I'm at. That's what I've been doing. So yeah, with my mom's particular, her music. I've been working on it since 2015, I could say pretty solidly. Even a little bit before that, but really from that point. So it's a little longer than I was hoping for at this point, but I do got a lot done. I do. And I'm really excited about this new stuff I'm working on. It's so cool. So I feel really good about that. Yeah, I really do. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Otherwise, I shout out to an artist I did work with. We're not currently working on anything. Never know, something could come up. But shout out to Black Reels. I did some stuff with him. Please, he's still active, trying to work out there, do his thing. Go support him. He's an independent artist here in LA. Look him up. And hey, man, if you got if you got the means or you want to help somebody or whatever, go do it. Hit them up. But yeah, check them out. Check out Black Reels. I don't know exactly what he's supposed to have something new coming out. I'm going to be bugging him because I'm getting frustrated with it as a fan. But yeah, so that's all good. Just giving shouts out. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, so that covers like KANU. Like I said, it's the podcast, the music publishing. Do have some merch. You can go to the merch store, which is, it's not the stuff I want. I have a lot of new stuff I want to put out pretty soon. I want to kind of revamp the whole thing. But please support any way you can. I appreciate it. And there's going to be more. I'm looking to... I'm definitely looking to potentially start getting some other artists, maybe. But I just got to figure that out. I have a certain way I want to work, and I'm not looking to, because I'm not, just to put it out there, I'm not looking to manage anybody. I'm preferably not looking to do that. But I will help if I can. I'll give some, I have no problem giving some guidance. Yeah, I mean, if people have questions, if I can help, I'm cool with that, to a certain level. So, because then it's like, I got to start charging y'all. I'm sorry. Knowledge wasn't free from me. Can't be free all the time either, but no, for real, most of it, guys, it's a lot of it's already out there. It's nothing, I'm not somebody to say, oh, I know everything, but I got a pretty good grasp on it. Plus, I'm around it a lot, the business and stuff, but, I'm always trying to learn myself and be like, hey, I got to get updated because things have changed. They keep moving, and they're moving faster than ever, so got to keep it honest with yourself, and, it's just, checking the ego a bit, with whatever it is, whether it's this, something else you do in life. You don't want to over have too much confidence that's not really real, right? Something like that, Anyways, so getting into the week, no more football. That's over. It's pretty much now it's going to be NBA. I would say that's coming, into the fun part. Another week, I think it's, another week, not this week, but the following week, we got the NBA All-Star, so we're really at the half point. I think we're probably already there, really, by the records. I'd have to look that up, but I think we're pretty much there at 40-plus games at least. So, definitely at that point of the season, and then the next, from there on, you got like barely 2 months of regular season left. It's a little long, really, but the playoffs start in April at some point. I forget when it is. I'm gonna look that up today because now thinking of it, it's like, god damn, that's gonna be a little while, it seems. But it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up fast. So we'll be, I'll be getting into it. Last year, me and Kim did a lot of comprehensive week to week, analysis on the NBA we did a good chunk. I think we started before the playoffs, pretty much, and then we kept it up. This year, I don't have anything planned just yet, guys, but I'm gonna figure that out. If I'm gonna be doing it with him, if I may be even involving another guy, actually, now that I come to think of it. Definitely wouldn't be a bad idea, since this guy has some real journalist knowledge type, point of view. So yeah, we'll see. I might mix it up a bit, give you some more for your ears to listen to. It's definitely my goal. More stuff for you guys. More content, even video and such. But just hold the thought for a second. I'll be right back on. All right. So yeah. But yeah, man, it's gonna be. I got some things, but gotta get it cracking. It's 2020, and it's gonna keep going. So I gotta keep, just kind of, just step it up. Just step it up. Just things that I've been contemplating or whatever. Just things for me to get done. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I got some, as far as equipment wise, like I got a lot of things. I just got to get it in use. So yeah, my only step right now. See, when I'm talking about steps and things I got to do, right? I'm telling you guys things. This is where I'm at too. So yeah, with the podcast, I'm pretty much, it's just a little simple scheduling for myself, or even if I have a guest. But I just got to do a little simple scheduling type of plan. And then just execute every week, just to change it up. I mean, doing this kind of podcast isn't terrible at all. And obviously now I'm adding the little background music. I hope you guys enjoy that, the lo-fi. I thought it's a nice touch, maybe, I've heard some. Actually, my buddy's podcast, he just attempted a little bit of, and I hope he keeps it up. But my buddy John, shout out to John, hope you're listening. But the PPP podcast, you can check out on Anchor, I think it is. But yeah, he had it on. I heard it on his, and actually, it's funny because I was thinking about it already, and then I was like, yeah, that's nice to add in there, that little music. And I know there's other podcasts that for sure do the same thing. So, anyways, I hope that it's kind of enjoyable. And definitely look to possibly get some other artists to send in stuff if they want, and I'll play it on there. But that, I want to keep it like that, chill music, really, yeah. So it won't be any, metal or anything like that. But yeah, I appreciate it if, well, I'm not putting anything out there just yet for you guys to send to, but pretty soon. So, yeah, beautiful day. Looks like it's going to be, it's getting a little warmer. It's 56. It's a nice sunny day, so that does help with the sun. The wind doesn't seem to be going on, especially over here in Burbank. Getting close to the job as I drink my sour sop and water with a little bit of L-arginine, I think it is. It's a amino acid. It's good for you. Yeah, it's a nitric oxide element, so it keeps your blood vessels, everything moving nice and strong, oxygenated. Yeah, it's like workout supplement probably, even though I'm not working out right now. But yeah, I've been wanting to try it for a while, so I've been just using a scoop. It's 5,000 milligrams, I think it is. So that's 5 grams technically, and that's it. Just put it in water. It's not a bad taste. It's not a great taste. Actually, with a little something sweet is good. But yeah, I mean, right now it's it's just like anything. You end up getting used to it. It's not strong. Let's put it this way: it's not like a real strong taste. It's just got a little off to it. But it's not. It's weird. It's very subtle. Very subtle. But yeah, if you have a little, soursop is actually really good. If you haven't tried that, guys, soursop, starting to think it out there more. I mean, I got at my grocery store across the street, Vallarta, shout out to them. They're awesome, man. They carry soursop. That's where I've gotten it first, as far as like in it's canned. It's coming from Vietnam. It's already juiced. So it has some pulp, and then you have the juice. But yeah, they're selling. It's like $1 for a big can, and it's very good for you. It's supposed to be super cancer killer. Supposedly it's really, really strong or something for that. But I'm not a doctor. Hey, I'm not approved by so and so. So I'm not going to say that. Oh, just do that and you're just good to go. But hey. As far as not having it and having something to help, keep things cool, hey, why not, right? Just like they say, with orange juice and vitamin C, very similar. I don't know about these being similar. But anyway, soursop, never mind the health benefit portion, but it's nice. It's a fruit. If you got the fruit itself, I'm sure that's pretty expensive because it's coming from like more tropical regions. Actually, soursop is one word, and then the other word is guanabana. That's the Spanish version of it. So same thing, just two different words. So just in case you run across that one, you're in the same spot. Yeah, you can get supplement for soursop. You can get supplement versions. Look it up. But you should be able to hopefully find the juice around pretty simple, depending where you look in your city, or you could order it on Amazon like everything these days. But it's pretty good, man. It's a neat taste. It's like I call it kind of a soft taste, like mellow. It's got some sweet, but it's not like real sweet, and it is a little sour, hence the name. But it's not like, it doesn't make your face pucker. It's not like that. But yeah, it's great, man. Very good. And there goes my little deep. Time to get gas all the time. Now I've been putting like little bits. Been kind of having to be careful with this money a little bit right before payday. Taking care of bills, this, that, rent just came. Jeez, oh man, rent's a bitch, man. It really is. Talk about a chunk. But gotta do what you gotta do. So I'm not gonna complain. I'm very blessed, very thankful, all that shit. For real. I know people, it can sound corny or so. I don't. It's not corny, man. I'm claiming it. And we all should really, but yeah, for sure, I'm claiming it. But so yeah, guys, that's where I'm at right now. Let me stop, and I'll be back in a little bit. Hey, I'm back here, back on. It's the evening, just wrapped up, about to just head out. I'm not saying head home, but heading out. And thought I'd fire it up. I might not be on too long here for this little bit. If you don't know, on the podcast, I usually kind of do the stop and go type deal. Doesn't I don't always I don't really like record straight through. I usually you get the point. It's like I break it up through my travels or whatever. So anyways, getting back to it. On Tuesday night, the 4th, February 4th. Damn, got to get used to that. February, not January. So, anyways, I was gonna say, Dodgers some baseball trade action. Dodgers had a just big trade go down tonight with Boston. I think it was 3 teams. They said Boston. Is it Minnesota? Or the I don't know. Whatever. There's another team involved. But anyways, no, the Angels. Angels are involved. I don't know. There's a couple things going on. So basically, we got Mookie Betts and another guy from Boston. I can't remember his name. And then we traded Jock Peterson to the Angels. which is kind of cool for him because at least he doesn't have to probably move it all since you're right here. I mean, depending though, depends where he's at, but if he does have to move, it ain't that far. And yeah, that's pretty much what's happened. I'm not going to get every player right now. I'm just learning about it just before I left work. But I was checking out my man Gabe Morency on Sports Grid. They were talking about it, and I was in the chat, and one of the guys in the chat was all fired up, calling the Dodgers hypocrites and all this because these are, I guess essentially these were teams that beat the Dodgers, or one of the teams at least, but and that, and I guess because they've been critical on teams that have cheated against them, and so now he's calling them hypocrites, this guy, for getting these players. But I'm just like, what does that have to do with that? They were playing on the team, but that's it. I mean, what are they're not supposed to fucking trade for guys that are going to make them better as a team if they have the option to and they got the money? I mean, I kind of get like what he's trying to say, but it's like, it just save, my thing is just save me with the bullshit. Like, dude, any team out there in that position would do the same thing. No questions asked. No questions asked. I mean, I don't know. That's nonsense. That's like, for instance, and it is a word out there. You guys have been hearing about it, but Tom Brady, the Raiders are interested to pursue him and all that. Now, I don't know. That sounds, that'd be pretty crazy. I mean, any of the situations of him leaving New England is already pretty wild to think about that could happen. But, then again, it isn't that wild. But when it manifests and actually does happen, it's going to be pretty strange. Just like anybody, if they've been on a team their entire career and now they're going to be on another team, for the last couple years or whatever it's going to be. But, look, Raider fans definitely don't like the Patriots, much like a lot of other teams, but Raider fans old enough to really remember the famous tuck rule that kind of cost them a chance at the Super Bowl. I say partially because really they still had plenty of time to have win that game, especially as well as they played, considering how much of a snowstorm they were in or whatever, or snowy conditions. Raiders did way better than people thought they would. Even Raider fans were shocked, because I was with the fans at the time at somebody's house watching the game. So, a couple people. I'm not going to act like there was every Raider fan, but nevertheless, I was around watching it. I know what the fuck happened. So, anyways, yeah, would some people be like, oh, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm sure there'd be some of that sentiment, but once it would sink in and you get out to the season and then you start seeing Brady in practice and you start seeing how he's working with the guys and, oh, shit, we got ourselves a guy, that'll all fade the fuck away, man. So, that shit is garbage, man. I'm sorry. I mean, nah, that's bullshit. Teams that want to win, like the Lakers, or whoever, and they got the dough and everything, that's what you do. You go after these guys, man. Warriors, they got KD. What were they supposed to do? No, we won't take them. It's okay. Fuck no, man. That's just that's the way it is, and that's the way it's been for a long time. This is not even, there's nothing shocking. Nothing shocking about it. I'm not shocked. That's what it fucking is. This is money. This is what it is. This is the day and age. There is no loyalty to one thing or another. I mean, for what? For what? So a team beats you, and then a year or two later, you have a chance to get one of their best players, and you just go, oh, that's all right, because they were on that team that beat us. We don't want him. Okay. Like, go ahead, be that dumb GM. Sure. That'll work out for you. Yeah, that's nonsense, man. You go after and get these guys, and you fucking win with them. That's what you do. You know, you don't let that shit hold you back. That's nonsense. It's like any good business with Apple or whoever, and there's some top CEO or somebody in a high-level executive position at their competitor that did amazing things for them, and the other company, Apple or whoever, is looking at them like, man, they could probably really help us. An engineer, I don't know, anybody of some importance or value, at any level. Do you think that company goes, no, fuck that, man. They work for so-and-so. We don't hire people from there. No. Fuck no, they don't. You kidding me? Nobody does that shit, man. Nobody. And go ahead, exist in business that way. See how that works out. So, save the horse shit, guys. Yeah, people are funny, man. So, I don't know. I really wonder what... it's no big deal. I'm not angry. It's just funny. It's really... I was just kind of having fun with the guy. There's nothing personal, nothing to be a dickhead about. It's not like that. But, it's just funny. But that is a sample. There is people there's still people that think that way a little bit. Like it's the, 19... whatever fucking, I don't know, whatever they think was the days of integrity, or everybody has this idea of when that was, and usually they're still off or not quite correct. I don't know. I'm just funny about that stuff, Like, I think we're so full of shit. Just like certain things, like let's say, I'll just use for an example, like I'll just use the halftime performance as an example. Shakira and J-Lo. Everybody, whether it's them or whoever, these halftime performances, guys, man, it has got to be a fucking headache to even bother trying to do this. It's so thankless. There is barely ever much of a time where people unanimously go together and go, oh, that was a great job, that was a great performance, and that's that. The last time, I think, was Prince. He's one of the last ones, I think, that got that kind of, response. But I'm sure there was still somebody bitching about him. Who knows? But J-Lo and Shakira, what do they get? They got to get hate from the ladies, and guys too, matter of fact, but, they're getting hate from certain people because what? Really, at the end of the day, why? Because they look better than them, basically, and really good for their age, and it's just nonsense. Oh, they're not talented, and these just fucking, oh, she's not singing for real. It's like, yeah, they're performing, they're moving, they're doing a bunch of shit. Like, okay, maybe they're not fully singing. So what? A whole bunch of people don't sing all the time. A lot of times, and matter of fact, let's crush everybody's fucking dreams here. Guess who didn't sing too? Who has one of the best performances of a national anthem ever? Apparently Whitney Houston. She didn't actually sing. That was actually tape. She did a great job selling it, though. Now, does that diminish her singing? No, we know she's fantastic, or she was, I mean. Now, are these two particularly known as incredible singers? No, and they never have walked around saying they were. They do pop music, essentially, Two different, I would say Shakira's probably, if you want to say musically talented, she's probably, and not even probably, she's more talented musically, I would say, because she can play some instruments, and da-da-da-da-da. And that's her lane. She doesn't, Shakira hasn't bothered jumping in, trying to be an actress, or doing all that. She just does what she does, and that's it. Great. J-Lo, she's a lot more than that. She's a full entertainer. She's a good actress, or she's been a good actress, and, you know, still is, whatever she does. I can't say, you know, I don't watch all her stuff, but she does her thing, and I think she's pretty good. You know, some of the stuff I've seen her in, I thought she was pretty good. I think she's done a good job, you know. And she, other than that, she could dance and perform and, you know, hold her own on stage. So, whatever. I thought, you know, I didn't watch it live. I watched it on YouTube after, just, you know, because I was like, let me just see it. I don't want to talk out of my ass, you know, and just be like everybody else. So I watched it and everything, and after it was all said and done, I was like, great job. Great production. I mean, so many things about it. I was like, I don't know. I think it was pretty damn good. You know, I was pretty impressed, and I thought, and matter of fact, I mean, I'm pretty good with audio, and I know what the fuck's up, and there was a lot of points in there, I think, more for J-Lo than maybe Shakira, but she was definitely singing, at times. Yeah, it was there. So, did she have some help on, like, a backing track thing? Yeah, they all do, okay? The bands, everybody. But whatever. That's such a dumb, dead argument over the years. It's just nonsense to even get into. But yeah, the halftime performance, guys, it's just, it doesn't make, people aren't ever, or like I said, I'll just reiterate, but yeah, they're not happy often. So anyways, yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And then they'll, you know, people will invent, like, this fake period. Oh yeah, there used to be great, you know, it used to be so much better, you know, and it's like, when? There's always been problems with halftime performances, you know, since it started becoming a thing. And it's really, I don't think it really started becoming a thing like today. I think Michael Jackson was one of the first to kind of start this off in terms of, like, production and a whole kind of thing. I'm going to look back, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that was kind of the start in the 90s at some point. I can't remember which Super Bowl, mid-90s. And then it's just gone from there. But before that, for a long time, if I'm not mistaken, they just had, like, high school bands and stuff like that. There was nothing. And so, you know what the problem with that? People were like, oh, it's boring. You know? Like, people aren't happy about shit, man. It's just miserable, man. Nothing, you can't do anything right. You can't do a fucking thing. And music gets it pretty bad. Sometimes it deserves it, I get it, but I don't know, man. People are really something else when it comes to, you know, people love shitting on music, man, big time. And it's not new. They try to act like it's new. They try to, like, you know, again, people try to act like, you know, bad music or musicians just started, you know, last year. It's like this has been years and years, you know. There's always been somebody that wasn't, you know, up to somebody's par or whatever. People are real funny. Become real music critics, become very purist, and then you'll, you know, but meanwhile you'll probably go to their collection and they don't have barely anything, or they don't even actually listen to music much. They just like to chime in whenever they get it. You know what I mean? It's like, give me a fucking break. So, I don't know. For me, I take that a little extra because I know a bit much, and I know the behind the scenes. I just have a different take on it. I appreciate it. Look, the lip syncing, I don't care. I really don't. I don't give a fuck in any venue for the most part. Besides, maybe if I see you live in concert, I would hopefully like to know that you're singing live. But look, if you're doing it well and pulling it off, whatever. If I had a great time, I still heard the songs, I'm dancing around, or I'm singing to you, you did your fucking job, whether that was live or not. Okay. You know? Give a fuck, man. It's just, because look, there's been bad jobs with that, and one of the offenders, you know, if you look back, people wouldn't like to say it, but Michael Jackson, he had some performances that were definitely lip synced, and they weren't that good. If you look back at the tape, you're just like, wow, you know, but people got away with it. Nothing happened, you know, or people just forget. And matter of fact, we'll use Michael Jackson. Go, he never lip synced. They'll say that. I feel like I've definitely heard that, and that's hilarious because he definitely did. A lot of them did, and I'd say most artists, if they're pretty fucking honest, they would just raise their hand and go, "Yeah, me too," at some point or another, for whatever reason. There's reasons too for this sometimes. So that's my 2 cents on that. But yeah, so I guess what was coming back around to, and also want to tie it with the Dodgers and that type of stuff. All this high and mighty crap that people do, you know, God, just stop it. Just stop it, man. You know, this pearl clutching bullshit, you know, it's really fucking tiresome. You know, that's all I gotta say about it. But hey, you know what? Who knows, man? I might be one of those people too at one point. I might call some shit like that too, but I hope not. I'm trying not to. But it's just funny, man. It really is funny. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I just wanted to peep in for the second and give that 2 cents. So we'll go from there in a little bit. Keep hanging. Hey, just jumping back on. Actually, a little change where I was going to go. So continuing on, same night. Everything's the same. So yeah, man, just making that point on that. I hope, I don't know, you know, take it or leave it. Maybe you guys agree. Maybe you have some thoughts. But yeah, I think you guys get it. So anyways, tonight's NBA, we got Spurs and Lakers. Spurs playing Lakers. They played the Clippers last night, so they got a 2-night stint in LA. And I don't know what's going on. Have not checked the score, but that's what's up. But yeah, I'll be definitely talking some more NBA action a little bit coming up. But yeah, I don't have too much to say. I would say right now, I think that, excuse me. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty clear. The Clippers and Lakers, I got the West pretty strong. And, you know, it kind of filters down from there. I mean, the Blazers are on a run. They got a bit of a run going on, so they're doing good. You know, teams are stepping up. Back east, you got Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's very much what they were last year so far. The Raptors are doing better. They're starting to pick it up. Miami, of course, been really having a great year. So yeah, so that's pretty much kind of who I'll point to at the moment. But other than that, you know, a lot of there's a lot of like whatever teams going on out there. So I'm not going to waste time talking about that. One team I was pulling for, you've heard me talk about this if you listen, but I was hoping the Pistons would been better this year. They're always one team I always want them to, if there's one team I'd kind of like to be like rooting for more often is the Pistons. You know, I've liked them at different points. I really liked the Ben Wallace era, that Pistons team. That was fun. They were pretty fun. Just too bad the East wasn't as good at the time. It was a couple little bit here and there, but it was kind of light. You know, wasn't that great at the time. But that was a good team though. They were legit. Pistons weren't. You know, I just felt like they kind of wish they would have got at least another title. Felt they were definitely that good, but very good team, man. But yeah, they haven't done anything. They make a little, it was like a year or two ago, they kind of looked like they were going to do something, and then it's nothing's going on. Just like Atlanta. Atlanta's had many of those. I think Atlanta's had quite a few years of that. If you're a Hawks fan, which I don't know who is. I'm sure there are some out there, some hardcore Hawks fans, but Atlanta's one of those teams too, though. I think they've had, I'd say in the last 10 years, they've had at least 5 seasons where they potentially looked like they could have done something. I might be wrong, might be even a little bit more, but yeah. But they've come up short. I think they've even been better than the Pistons in the same timeline, I would say. But, always coming up short. Yeah, Pacers are good for that. Although the Pacers, yeah, there's just teams, man. I'm just going to keep saying it. There's just teams, guys. I don't care. Any sport that the same script of thing, kind of happens. We get a little excited. You're looking for them to do something just because it's like, oh, good, something different. And then when it really gets down to it, they don't do anything, And it just keeps happening over and over and over. It's very, very, very frustrating. It's got to be terrible for fans of those teams. I mean, that's rough. But I don't like that. I really don't. I like when they're, that's why the NFL. I guess all the sports lately, I could say, except the NBA still to some degree, but. All the major sports otherwise, I mean, it has been there has been some breakthroughs in some different teams. Toronto was definitely one of them for the NBA. That was good. I think that was excellent. It doesn't happen much, an odd team like that. I'd say the last one kind of reminds me of is Cleveland was kind of like, yeah, I guess you got to put Cleveland there. It's just that with LeBron and everything, they were there so much or dominant enough. You kind of felt like, well, they've won a couple, but they didn't. They just won the one. But kudos to that. That was awesome. Definitely good for at least Cleveland can say they got one championship, in something. So that's something, I mean, seriously, that's. For a town that's had it pretty much nothing, they've had a lot of heartbreak and a lot of, problems with owners and everything or whatever. They did get that break, but yeah, the Raptors, Cleveland, who else? The Mavs, I'd say that's another one. I mean, Golden State was a breakthrough too until they became a dynasty. But they're another breakthrough team, they didn't have anything for a long time, nothing. And now they're looked at a certain way now, at least for the time being. That again can change in some time, but, so that's good. The NBA's you've had some of that happen because a lot of times if you look, I mean, it's been just a handful of teams that kind of always win, But yeah, the other sports, have been like football, even as dominant as the Patriots have been. Thankfully in the same timeline. I mean, there's been a number of teams otherwise. The Steelers, Giants, the Ravens, now the Chiefs. Let's see, who else? Who else was like a kind of a breakthrough team? I mean, can't think of one right now. Another team. There was, Green Bay won. Tampa Bay way back, they won. Yeah, so I mean, even as dominant, like I said, the Patriots have been. There has been some other teams that have won through the years. So, yeah, it's been pretty. Yeah, I'd say that's been pretty damn good in football. Baseball's been awesome, if you want to look at it that way, for the last 20 years or something. Hockey, yeah, all of them have been pretty good. I'd say probably out of all of them, I guess baseball probably the most. Again, Red Sox, kind of dominant there, but now there's been plenty of other teams that have won. So, it's been great. I mean, the Royals won not long ago. We forget about that. That came and went. But the Royals, they had a moment. They got to get it, Of course, now with the Astros, and we got some controversy with that. So, that's a whole other thing. But still, nevertheless, hey, they still got it. Got 2 of them, supposedly, right? Is it right? They got 2 or 1? I don't know. But yeah, it's good. I don't know. I think that, yeah, I like a little variety. I like to see, I like to see teams that come up out of nowhere or, get better all of a sudden that, maybe weren't for years. So it's got to happen for the Clippers, though. That's one team that's really, that would be huge. That would be huge if they finally could get over that hump. So we'll see. They have a hell of a shot this year. Definitely have a good shot. They're tough. That's a good group right now. They've been, so we'll see when it gets down to it. But they've been pretty money, man. That's not typical, I mean, even when they've had some good teams, there's been plenty of, little breakdowns sometimes. But yeah, this squad right now, definitely running nice. So that's pretty much that. What else? Oh, that's about it. Nice cold. Yeah, we're getting just under 50 degrees right now. 49 degrees, man. So gonna be pretty chilly night. I don't know how low. Well, it's hovering. It keeps going back and forth. 49, 50 degrees. Yeah, it'll stay just in the 40s tonight, I'm sure. But not too bad. I mean, getting adjusted now that it's cooled down again, like this whole week is going to be. So just got to be ready. It's not that big of a deal. And after a couple days, like I said, to me, you get a little more used to it. Doesn't mean it's not cold, but you just get a little more like, your body kind of adjusts. But because let me tell you, it was just in the 70s a couple days here and there, and that feels like so much hotter after you haven't had it for a little bit. You're like, man, you're like, is it 90? It's like, no, it's just 70. You're like, damn. So, little weather talk. Yeah, back, nothing big on weather fronts. Back east, too, it looks like it's been pretty kind of mild. Not a really much of a winter just yet. If there's still a good amount of time, though. Still got I'd say you got another strong 2 months almost. Because March is so fucked up. That's always such a curveball. It's, you get a little teaser in March, and then, you get, like, fucked with, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's going to snow, and then it's like the last week of March, It's like, god damn, Yeah, I hate that. Probably March has got to be the least favorite month back east, or anywhere where there's, like, potential of weather problems, It's got to be. It's got to be the most unfavored month to some degree. Yeah. Oh, boy. So, yeah, not a whole heck of a lot else. Not a lot else to speak of at the moment. I'm trying to think of some shit. Oh, man, what was I going to say? Oh, man, no, that's about it. Just been checking out, gotten back into it recently. I think I might have mentioned it before. I know I have, but I'm just thinking recently if I mentioned. But We Funk Radio, I was listening to some of that today. Definitely check them out, guys. I'm not getting anything I'll tell you this, there's certain things I'll plug, I'll tell you, like, I'm not getting anything for it, but it's stuff I like and appreciate. But yeah, We Funk, man, if you like some good jams and some, just like get kind of like exposed or reminded of music that you never heard, or maybe you did, but it's just been forever, definitely check out We Funk Radio. Fantastic show out of Canada, I think Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, or Montreal, I'm not sure. I think it's Montreal. Yeah, it's Montreal, I'm pretty sure. But I've been around for over 20 years out of a college station. And it's like, to me, it's the last not the last, but it's like, well, I guess it is in a certain way. It really, to me, is I guess you could kind of say it, but it really is the last of the Mohican of that style of, programming with DJ, having like, they have different DJs send in mixes and stuff. They have a whole community, and there's all kinds of DJs involved, and they go deep, they go real deep, and it's just great. It's just great mixing. Some more than others. Some it's not so much the mixing, but just the selection. And definitely in selection terms, it's pretty badass. Like every single time, you're definitely getting exposed to something that you never heard. And it's funk oriented, but not like Parliament or just like the typical funk. There's like so many other bands that have done it, and current, old. I mean, you'll be shocked. Like today, I just learned of a group called Cosmos. They were from the 80s. They were from Japan. They were these Japanese ladies that were playing keyboards, essentially, I guess. Like a keyboard band, they called it. I don't know. I'm going to look up more about them, but great music. Really cool. And this was from the early 80s. I would never have heard them anywhere else. So there's a lot of that, it's great. And they give you all the, notes, and, you can look them up or whatever. So it's definitely worth your time if you're into music and, you're in a, maybe you're just in a stale rut of just like, you've listened to the so-and-so's song a million times or this album a million times, and, definitely that's one to check out. But yeah, you need it, man. We all do it. I mean, there's plenty of stuff. I love some hip hop. I love 90s. I like there's certain shit I could listen to almost like over and over, and I will do it at times. But at some point, you just go, okay, like I need something else, and I'm not really into, be like, I'm not into brand new stuff. But then there's stuff that I do like brand new. So that's why you need stuff like a Wii Funk, or you need, to find that outlet that's giving you a good mix and rundown of what's going on, But YouTube's fantastic. If you do some searching on there, you'd be surprised what you'll probably find. And I'm not just saying for videos, but like, you'll find people doing like their own little radio stations on there and everything, and that's where you can find some gems or whatever. It's you just got to look, and I'm sure there's a lot of some other resources I'm not aware of, but SoundCloud, of course, you could go through there, and stuff. You just have to kind of go a little further, and then you'll start getting, out of the mainstream, if you want to say. But it's incredible how kind of lazy we get, but it's really helpful. A thing like Wii Funk is really helpful, because that's the best, is having DJs, people that know a certain genre and really are good at it, and exposing you to some shit. That's the key, man. That's really the big one. I'd say that more often, if you have some of that, that's when you're just gonna get such a better music collection than if you just try to do it all on your own. But we're busy people. Sometimes, most of us aren't thinking that way. We're still thinking like the old days, that, there's going to be some mix on the radio station. They're going to do it. It's like, they're not anymore. Or not often, at least. But yeah, that's how it goes. All right, guys, let me stop for now, and I'll be back shortly. Late. Hey, guys, just jumping back on here. KANU Chronicles, Monday morning. So I'm going to be, kind of forgot that I started this one up. So I've just, actually it's kind of cool. You guys are going to get a little more than I probably would have done. But anyways, just going to be wrapping this up. And that way, move on to the next one. Another week already. So yeah, another week passed by, weekend of sports. I didn't watch anything, paid no attention. I mean, I watched my Sports Grid, listened to those guys talk, but I didn't they're talking the XFL. I think there was a lot of that and some basketball stuff, but I wasn't it wasn't like I was really paying attention. Because I think it's just the after Super Bowl type feeling where things have, dissipated, and plus here in LA, it's still, they're still mourning for Kobe. I mean, I don't think just here, but anybody, that's been a fan or was, somewhat affected by that news, I'm sure we're all still absorbing and, dealing with that, in different ways and so forth. And then it goes on it just goes beyond that because, also in our everyday lives of people close or whoever, you may have death going on in that way too. So it makes it even, obviously that's even more hard. So anyways, there's that type of thing. And not to go try to be dark or whatever, but I will bring it up since it's, since I'm already, bringing that up. But, I just, because I want to just give a shout out or a little remembrance for this person I found out. I just unfortunately found out passed away quite a few years ago now, actually. I just didn't. But, this guy, Bill, his name is Bill Kennedy. And he wasn't one of the Kennedys or no relation to them, but, I believe he was from, I think he was from, I don't know, he might have been from England, I think, something like that, perhaps, I'm not sure. Anyways, Bill Kennedy, otherwise known as Kill Bennedy, that was a nickname from Trent Reznor, but this guy was a, pretty badass mixer, engineer, producer extraordinaire. Worked with just who I mentioned. Worked with 9 Inch Nails on a lot of their biggest stuff. Basically he was the guy behind the Broken album. I think it started with that album, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he was a part of. I don't get the feeling that he was a part of Pretty Hate Machine or anything prior to Broken. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think so. And he did that. He did the Downward Spiral album, and I'm not sure what else he might have done in their catalog, but those two definitely stand out. Plus he did he worked on Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, so all that badass, fucking loud, real aggressive, grungy type rock that was going on. He was really instrumental in that. And he even worked with U2, by the way. And I don't know exactly what project, but he worked with them. So guy was something else. I got to just a real cool meeting type thing. It wasn't like it was just random. It was somebody I worked with. Shout out to Paula Jones, actually, that's who it was. Shout out to her, she's awesome. She's another great engineer, producer. She's down back in Australia, in her homeland. She's got a cool project. She's doing mobile streaming. I'll talk more about her at another point, but I just wanted to throw that out there. But anyways, it was like, this was in my, obviously my music days, working with Rick Knowles. And so that's how I met all these people. So Paula, through her, I think I can't remember it just all the way, but I feel like I was taking her and her friend and this guy out somewhere. I was dropping them off somewhere, and I was also going out myself. They just were going to some, it was one of these things. I was giving them a ride. And it's funny, here I am, the assistant of all the people in the car. All these other people that got that are far ahead of me in their career, and I'm the one driving around. I don't know if anybody had a car. That's what I think it was too. Or it was like, hey, we're just not driving. All right. So let the young kid do it. I was down. It was great. I would have done that all day long with any of those people. But, yeah, it was cool, man. I just talked to him. I got, they were just telling me, quickly what he did and all that. And it was very, exciting. I was like, wow, fucking, and he was real cool. He had some friendly advice, and I can't remember, unfortunately, distinctly anything he said per se, but he was just encouraging what I remember getting from him. And yeah, very regular guy, for whereas, in my mind at the time, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's, I shouldn't even talk to him, It's like, it was pretty, I had him up there because, it's definitely stuff that he worked on was things I was really, into and, stuff I was excited and liked and all that. So, yeah, so I was just really appreciative of that. But anyways, I just been listening. It's funny because I started listening to that album again, Broken. I haven't listened to it in a little while. Just a couple other tracks I may have forgotten about. The one, Physical, I just don't remember really listening to it a lot before, but it came up and I was like, man, that's so badass of a song. And so I started just going back to the whole thing itself. And it's just, what good. This is 1992. Pull up that album, guys. Listen to some of Broken, and just think about, that's 1992. This motherfucker's doing this shit. They were already, I think it was some of the earliest digital recording, if I'm not mistaken. They were really already on it at that point. And the guy, they said he was just Bill Kennedy, and they really said that album was a lot of him. I guess he was really at the helm of decision making on it. He was the producer and everything. So, but that's. But definitely his best was Downward Spiral in terms of, I think just for both of them, I think that was the best effort overall, and still quite a standout to this day. And but yeah, I didn't. It was because of that. I started thinking of him. I couldn't quite remember his name. I remember right off the bat, but then I found it quickly. And yeah, so this was, like I said, I just searched this past weekend. And I've done this now at times, and I think I've mentioned before maybe something else that's happened recently like that. But so right away it came up, and he passed away back in 2012 at only 49 years old, man. So I was like, God damn it, man, here goes another fucking person, So yeah, man, it was just a bummer. And it's so, again, I didn't wasn't super friends, didn't grow up with the guy, I didn't really, I didn't work with him, it was just this one meeting, and then other than that, obviously enjoying his music, or the stuff he was a part of, I should say. Yeah, just still makes you, think. And it's not just, because this is the third or fourth person that it's happened where I've looked up somebody and it's they're gone. And I'm like, fuck, man. Pretty discouraging. So, on another note, though, on good news, like I mentioned about my friend Paula, I end up somehow finding her I didn't think to before, but she came up on online on LinkedIn. And so that was really cool. And I somehow, timing-wise, caught her on there, and or maybe she is on there a decent amount. But either way, I caught her and we chatted real quick on there. And it was just, I told her I appreciated that. I was really happy because, I couldn't take any more, it would just been rough to get more bad news or something, Not that I was expecting it, but it just starts making you think that way, You start going, fuck, I should probably not look up people anymore, It's like, this isn't good. But yeah, it's only been, like I said, it's just been a couple, but still, any of that, it's pretty, it makes you discouraged, it does. you do go, fuck. So, anyways, not to dwell on that, but, yeah, so just want to shout out, let you guys know about him. Look up any of that work he did. Look up Bill Kennedy if you want to know more. Pretty sure he was a UK guy. I'm pretty sure he was. But, yeah, R.I.P., man. R.I.P. to Bill Kennedy. Fucking definitely put it down. He paved the way for, if you're in, into music and mixing and, or whatever, or that's something you want to do, and you like that genre, and that grungy, hard, heavy, loud, he's the guy to study for sure. Or, that's somebody to study for sure. Listen to that music, and break it down. But yeah, they said he was, he blast the fuck out of it. He'd really blast the shit out of those tunes all the time. So in the studio, it was pretty intense. But, I can't overlook the story that I have to tell with that. So the fun story with Bill Kennedy, he worked at A&M Records, and I don't know from what time or what year, I don't know exactly the era. Let's probably say around the same time, maybe a little earlier, early 90s, maybe late 80s, something like that, right? And we'll just pretend it's that. Maybe it's another time, but either way, he had a phone line in there, direct phone, and so he would just be there when the session wasn't ready or not going on. He would just be at the strip club, and then they would just fucking call him whenever the session was ready. Like, that's how good he was, that they were cool with that. I don't know, unless they had that for, that maybe that wasn't just him. Maybe that was, I didn't, I got the feeling, the story sounded to me that it was really just him, but, maybe that was something that went on before too. Maybe there was another guy, but either way, I thought that was really cool. That was a fun story at the time, I remember. Yeah, and you know what? Listening to some of that stuff, I think that music, some of the best, not to say it's stripper music, but I think it is some of the best stuff for strippers to dance to, for real. It's as much as it's very heavy and dirty, and it's got a sexy thing to it, some of it, I think so, with the right dancer and all that, somebody out that gets it. Closer, it's huge. Closer, you can't deny that one. That one is definitely, I'd say if you've been to any strip club over the years, that one does come up probably out of most kind of rock songs. Yeah, Closer was pretty, that's one that people forget how different it was. But yeah, that was a pretty fucking, still an awesome track, but it was ahead of its time and different in so many ways. The way that they kind of did this simple, not even hip hop, but you have this kind of slower dance beat, and then you build this whole, rock shit with synths around it. It's very interesting track. But, yeah, I think they pulled it off better than most, with synths and guitars and making it rock. And yeah, I think that those songs, and obviously what he did in mixing and all that stuff, with those guys like Marilyn and all that, definitely pulled it off really well. I think that somebody else maybe wouldn't have worked out quite as good. Definitely makes a difference having the right guy on deck that knows what the fuck he's doing. And it also says something for the performers too. I mean, obviously they're making the tones, and they're dialing it in and putting their thing on it too. So it's that collaborative effort at the end of the day, And I'm pretty sure it sounds like they were a great combination of people. You definitely brought the vibes and all that. So yep, just wanted to give props, and like I said, just now some of you guys will now know about that guy, You know, these unsung people in the industry that are in the background, you know, that, you know, they're not looking, it's not to, like, you know, super impress or whatever. It's just, you know, just go look up and, yeah, just go ahead and learn about the person with the stuff they worked on and enjoy it, man. Or it's stuff you already know. You're like, oh man, I used to listen to the shit out of this or that. So cool stuff, man. And, I'm grateful I got to meet, you know, even as brief as it was, I'm very happy I got to meet him and drive him in my car at the time, you know, down in Hollywood. It was, you know, it's always a moment that I couldn't be more happy about that, because that was the perfect way to meet a guy like that and hear a little bit of the story and be right in Hollywood around where it was all going down anyways. So, it just was, you know, what can I say? I don't know. There's quite a few stories around that time. If you heard me talk about it, it was pretty surreal. I definitely, it was all coming at me so much, so fast, and a lot to take in. And you know, now all these years later, I still can reflect and kind of like, I'll forget something and then remember and go, oh my God, no, that happened too, you know? It's like you don't think that, you're like separated from it, like that wasn't real, but it's like, no, that was very real. Yeah, just exciting. Very, you know, plus, you know, when you're in your early 20s, that's the great time for stuff like that. Definitely great time. So, yeah, so that's pretty much all I got to say about that at the moment. Just pulling in here on the lot, so just bear with me. I'll be stopping here soon. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it's a good week wherever you're at. You know, things are going pretty good for you, you know, or if they're not, just make the best of it. Be safe. You know, if you're in these coronavirus affected places, you know, just be careful, and that's all you can do. Try to, I don't know, I've seen some footage. It's pretty disturbing stuff going on out there in China. It's bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's not much we can say at this point, but you know, at the same time, you can't over panic on it, because there's a whole bunch of other stuff that can kill all of us every day. Just remember that. So anyways, guys, you guys take care, and I'll be back later coming up this next week or so. This week, next week, whatever. All right. See ya.